Each week, we ask you to vote online in our Friday Lightning Round for your favorite panel topic. This week was close, and your top pick was Pope Francis. We start with that. He was named Time Person of the Year. George.
Well, if after 275 days as Pope, during which he said some nice things and made some noble gestures, but if he's Person of the Year, 2014 and 13 has been a pretty minor year. This is like Barack Obama getting the Nobel Peace Prize weeks into his presidency, and it's the silliest thing Time has done since 2006, when their cover of the Person of the Year was a reflective panel so that we'd all look in the mirror and see that we were all the Person of the Year, which is sweetly democratic.
Chuck, the Vatican says he's getting an enormous amount of attention around the world. He's changing things up, reforming the Vatican, making finances more transparent.
Well, he certainly had his work cut out for him because he inherited an institution that was in a lot of trouble because of the pedophilia scandals and other things. And, you know, you have to admire the fact that he's come in with a, good attitude, and he's made a sort of a big demonstration of being a little more humble about conspicuous consumption in the church and so forth. But the mess he had to clean up, left over from that pedophilia scandal, was very big, and he's not finished.
Charles?
I rise in defense of the Pope, if not of Time magazine. Man of the Year or not, he's a man who's introduced this sort of spirit of humanity and humility in his office, which is refreshing and which transcends sectarian lines, which I think is the basis of his appeal. He doesn't drive around in a caddy, he drives around in a beat-up old, a Peugeot or something, which really is a sign of humility. And
when you hear the economic pushback from the conservatives?
That's what I would expect from a church. I don't expect Adam Smith economics. I expect an appeal on behalf of the poor, and that's what a church ought to do. So I think he's done what he needs to do. You can argue about whether capitalism helps or doesn't help the poor. In the end, I think he might have a misunderstanding of economics, but his job isn't economics.
Quickly, John Podesta joins the White House, a bit of a shake-up down the line. What does it mean, and big picture?
Make no difference at all. The problem is not in messaging. It isn't in internal organization. It is in the fact of the central achievement of Obamacare, which will plague the Democrats all year, and in the inattention, inexperience, and incompetence of the chief executive.
A lot of people in the Democratic camp were clamoring for some kind of a shakeup. They didn't get too many heads rolling, but a new head is coming in, and we should all remember this has been tried before, not just in previous administrations, but in this very administration in 2011. After the 2010 elections, they brought in Bill Daley. He slunk away about a year later, completely frustrated, and spends a lot of his time now fending off quotes from his former colleagues at the White House about what a bad job he did.
When Monica Lewinsky and the President Clinton got in difficulties, Clinton embraced his base. He turned with an iron grip to the left wing of the Democratic Party. This is Mr. Obama in different kind of distress doing the same thing.